What is up, guys? Welcome back. We have finally got the 22 TRD Pro ceramic coated, and man, I could not be happier with the results. This paint looks phenomenal, silky smooth, literally just smooth as butter. I'm going to show you guys what we used to do it, how we did it, and you guys could obviously see for yourself. With a little bit of elbow grease, you can get your truck ceramic coated for a fraction of the cost by doing it yourself. Let's get into it. All right, guys, quick disclaimer. This video is going to be kind of a faster video. If you guys have never done this before, this process, I do have a video on the channel where I literally walk you through step by step of how to ceramic coat the truck, how to prep the surface and all that good stuff. I am going to show you the steps that I took in this video, but just so you know what to expect, if you're brand new and you've never done this before, you may actually want to watch my other video, which I will link down below. I literally walk you through step by step, give you a bunch of tips. Again, this video is going to be more of just kind of a quick process and show you the things I used, show you the process pretty quickly, and obviously show you the results. So here's everything you're going to need to get this process done the way I did it. First off, foam cannon, this thing, everything you're going to see on this table, I will put links down below. If you only get one thing that I'm going to show you here, these applicator pads, these are for actually applying the ceramic. They do come in two different sizes, you'll see in the video. I actually start with the smaller ones, but they come in these bigger sizes as well. They will save you product, save you money, and they just make applying the ceramic so much easier. All right, so again, foam cannon. That's the soap we're going to use from Duracoating. Wait till you see that foam up in the cannon, it's phenomenal. Some exterior deep clean and prep. This is Iron X by CarPro. We're actually going to skip that step on the TRD Pro because it's only 2 months old. We're not really going to need to do that step, but we did use that on the last two vehicles. That's basically just a very strong decontaminant. You just spray on the surface, let it sit there for 3, 4, 5 minutes, spray it off, and it just kind of loosens up all the dirt. We got some clay bar and clay luber from Chemical Guys. I buy it by the gallon and then just put it in a smaller bottle. Over here, you're going to see in the video, we start with the Meguiar's, but then we actually switch to the step one. I'll show you why. Our dual action polisher, a couple set of foam pads, our Chemical Guys wipeout. That is another step that I did not do on the last two vehicles, but again, I'll mention why as we go through the video. And then here is the ceramic that we used on the TRD Pro. We used this on my wife's RAV4, and it was phenomenal. The longevity was great. Water beating was awesome. It's a very thick, very high quality ceramic, so that's what we used. And then of course some microfiber towels. I actually had 4 packs of them to start. That's what's left. All right, and then 2 buckets for the 2-bucket method of washing. Let's get into the process and I'll walk you through what we did. All right, step one, let's soap it up. So you can see what a hell of a job a $16 foam cannon from Amazon can do. We'll leave that sit on there for just a couple minutes and then we'll rinse it off just to get that initial loose layer of dirt off. Now that we have that initial layer of dirt and grime rinsed off, 2-bucket method, we're going to go around, wash the entire truck. 1 bucket for clean water, 1 bucket for rinsing, just plain water. Starting at the top, working our way down, let's get her washed up. So what you'll see me doing is I like to do one area at a time. I started at the roof of the truck, washed it, rinsed it off in just the plain water, and now I'm going to rinse off the top before I go on to a different panel. I'm just going to kind of work 1 or 2 panels at a time till I get around the whole truck and get her all cleaned up. So 2 other quick tips I'll give you while I'm thinking about it. Number 1, when you're doing this, make sure you're not wearing any pants or anything down low that has buckles, zippers, anything like that. Because obviously, as you see, when you're doing the higher or hard to reach areas, you're going to be leaning up against the truck. And that's another reason why you want to start from the top down. All right, but just make sure you're not wearing anything that'll scratch up the paint, and you'll be kicking yourself when it comes to the polishing part of it. The other thing is I'm going to switch out my washing sponge at least 2 to 3 times. What I like to do is I'll use the same sponge for the high spots. Then maybe I'll switch to a second one. This truck obviously is only 2 months old, so it is in really good condition paint-wise. But just switch out your sponge every so often. I do like to use 1 sponge only for the lower trim all the way around the truck. That's obviously the dirtiest part of the truck from kicking up from the tires and things like that. So just keep that in mind. I do like to use 1 sponge alone, or 1 washing sponge for the lower portions of the door, the rear bumper, and even the front bumper where bugs hit mostly and all that type of thing. So just keep everything clean, and you'll have better results. All right, so brought you in a little bit closer. Now that the vehicle is clean, washed with the bucket method all the way around top to bottom. Next thing we're going to use is the exterior deep clean and rip. I apologize for the wind. It's very windy today. I hope it's not too bad in the microphone. But basically, to use this, all we're going to do, again, panel by panel, wet panel. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to do it from the top down, just to show you how you're going to use this. I'm going to do this panel right here. So you're just going to wet it. Wet the whole panel, and then take a clean one. I have not used this sponge yet. Take a clean sponge, and you're just going to apply a little bit of this cleaner directly onto a wet sponge. So you want the surface wet and the sponge wet, and now you're just going to work it into the area. So we'll just do panel by panel. And this stuff just literally just strips everything off the paint. If there was any kind of wax coating, whatever you want to throw out there, this stuff will take it off of the surface. Just work it in. And then once you're done working it in, it says to leave it on the surface for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, probably depending on temperature. It's only about 63 degrees today outside here. So we're going to let it on there for just a minute after we do the whole panel here. And again, truck is totally clean, so I don't have to worry about spreading around dirt or anything like that. That's why you want to clean the truck first before doing this step. All right. So I got a clean bucket of water that I'm going to drop this into. It's completely clean. Let it sit on there for a minute. We're going to rinse it off, go panel by panel doing this process, and then we'll move on to the next step. My favorite step in this entire process, outside of putting the coating on itself, is the clay burning. You will be shocked. This is just such a satisfying step to me, because even though we've already washed this truck top to bottom, side to side, front to back, you will be shocked at when you get off on this clay burning. Again, 2-month-old truck, it's not going to be as bad on a brand new vehicle like this, but very simple to use. You're just going to take your clay bar, so it's going to come in large, almost. Rip off a chunk, and then you're just going to kind of flatten it out like that. I recommend Chemical Guys Clay Luber. As you saw in the beginning, I get it by I think it's a gallon, and then I just put it in a smaller bottle. All you're going to do, spray your clay bar, and then, again, this is going to be panel by panel. So we're going to spray the panel, spray the clay, and then just rub it in. The biggest tip with this step is, insert your own joke here, lubrication is key. The wetter the better. You do not want to use this on a dry panel. Make sure you're well lubricated while doing this. And then after, you do a little section, take a break, check your clay. Now, this actually doesn't have much on it at all. It has a little bit there at the top. I don't know if it'll come out. But once you're done with the little section, take a break, check your clay. If you have a lot of contamination on it, just knead it until you get like another flat surface that's very clean. I'm going to go ahead and rinse that section off, make my way around the truck, starting at the top. You know the drill. After clay barring, we're going to start the polishing. Now, again, because this truck is only 2 months old, I will tell you already, I've put much less effort into this up to this point than I did on the 2 vehicles that I did in the past. So, little tip goes without saying, common sense. If you get a new vehicle, the sooner you do this, the easier it's going to be. All right, I've already primed the pad. Again, if you're not familiar with this, I do go over this step by step in my other video. We're going to make this a little quick, just little by little, panel by panel. We're going to do a little area here, moving around the entire truck, top to bottom. So we're only going to be using the Meguiar's is what I decided to start with. I'm going to see how that works, and we'll go from there. All right, to do a little area, take a clean microfiber and wipe off the compound. And man, I can tell already that is probably all we are going to need, which is going to make my life extremely easy. I did have some swirl marks right in this area, which is why I started right here, just to kind of see how it was going to come out. And just after a very quick polish, I'll look from different angles. Man, that looks good. I don't know if it's coming out on video or how well it's showing up. But yeah, I think we're just going to stick with the Meguiar's. Just one step all around the vehicle. I might go over this area real quick once more, and I might even do this area by hand real fast, just because of the curves. But yeah, I think we're just going to use the Meguiar's. One step all the way around, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, we were running out of daylight. We pulled it into the garage. We have gone around and polished the entire truck, and we actually switched it up. After doing one or two panels with that Meguiar's, it was doing its job, but the hard water spots, because of the well water, oh my God, they were brutal in certain spots. So I switched over to the step 1 from Duracoating, and this worked like a charm. Took all the hard water spots off, and because of that, truck is ready. I mean, if you look at this truck right now, don't mind the mess in the garage. I'm actually in the middle of remodeling out here. But the truck almost looks like there's a coating on it already. It looks fantastic. Can't wait to get this ceramic on it. But because of the hard water, so usually at this step, once you're done polishing, what you could do is you can go back and rewash the truck with that exterior deep clean and prep. That'd take all the old polish off, get the paint ready to accept the ceramic, and then you'd be ready to do the ceramic coating itself. Because of the hard water, I don't want to do that. I don't want any more water touching the truck. So we're going to use this chemical, guys, Wipeout. Basically does the same exact thing as that, but this one, it's actually even a little easier to use. Literally all you do is spray it on panel by panel. Just take a clean microfiber and wipe it off. So just literally spray it right on the truck, right on each panel. Take a clean microfiber, wipe it off, and that takes the paint down to its purest form. It'll get rid of any polish that's left behind. But as you can see, the truck looks fantastic. So I'm going to save time on the video. I'm not going to show it. Literally just going to put that in a spray bottle. I already have it in one. Go panel by panel, spray it on each panel, wipe it off with a clean cloth, clean microfiber, and then we'll be ready to do the ceramic. All right, guys, we are finally ready for the good stuff. Went around the whole truck with that Wipeout, wiped it down really good just to make sure we stripped everything off the paint. Now we are going to be using Duracoating Extreme Nano Coat Ceramic. Love this stuff. I love Duracoating products. We're going to do the tires, actually the 35s that are not in frame right now that just got delivered the other day. We're going to be putting their tire dressing on those as well. This is what I used on my wife's RAV4 a couple years back, and it was awesome. Very thick ceramic. The water beating was incredible. It was just an awesome product to use. I'm not sponsor affiliated, Duracoating. If you see the video and you want to reach out, I'm all ears. I love your stuff. But anyway, so all we're going to do, you can put 2 to 3 coats of this on the vehicle, but it has to be roughly 4 to 6 hours apart in between coats, 4 to 6 hours minimum apart. So what we're going to do, actually, we're going to put 1 coat on tonight, and I'm going to call it a day, and then tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm going to come out, put another coat on, and then I'm actually going to put a 3rd coat on tomorrow. So we'll do 1 coat tonight, and then 2 tomorrow. And then the Glass X, this is, obviously, we're going to use this on the windshield. So don't mind the windows. I don't know if you can see it right now. The windows I'm actually going to do separate, but the windshield I did prep. You can use basically what I did for the windshield, the exact same process that I did on the truck. I clay barred it, I polished it. I have the windshield down; it's spotless. So the Glass X, same thing. Now this you only have to wait roughly about 60 minutes in between coats. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to show you how I'm going to apply this nano coat on the quarter panel here. But then I'm actually going to stop. I'm going to go put the first coat of the Glass X on the windshield. Then I'm going to go put the initial layer of ceramic coat on the whole truck. Then go back and do a 2nd coat of the Glass X before I call it a day. All right, so let's get into the coating. So the nano coat. Now, these pads, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you get anything I'm showing you in this video, get these pads. They are awesome, and they will save you money and product. So we're just going to take the top off here. And this is a dropper style. So all we're going to do is we're just going to take and put a couple drops right there on the applicator pad. and we're just going to go in circular motions in a small section, and then let it sit for 15 to 60 seconds is what Duracoating says. So as you can see, we're just going to apply it like so. And you can see where you're applying it. It almost kind of rainbows, but you can definitely tell where you're putting it. So we're just going to go ahead and apply it in circular motions like this. You do not want it to dry on the truck. So we'll let it sit for a few seconds. I'm going to grab a clean microfiber. And again, you can kind of see it curing. I'm sure you can't see it on camera. The lens won't pick it up, but looking at it at different angles in the light. That's actually one other thing I want to mention real quick. Let me kind of wipe this off, and then before you start this ceramic coating process, you want your paint, however you want your paint to look, make sure all of the imperfections and everything are out. Because once you put this coating on, it basically locks your paint in. And if you don't get any imperfections out, or there's still any dirt or debris on the vehicle, it's going to get locked in, and it's there. You'd have to completely strip the ceramic coating to remove it. Once you put this ceramic on, you know, this ceramic coating locks in your paint, which is why we go through all of those steps to make sure the paint is very clean, down to its purest form. And man, just that little section, I mean, it's crazy. I'll give you guys, you know, a really good look at how this comes out. But that's it. That's all we're going to do. So we're just going to work our way around the entire truck, top to bottom, side to side, front to back, doing that process. And that's all there is to it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the windshield real quick, and then I'll come back, finish up the truck, and then we'll put a second coat on the windshield before we go to bed. All right, guys, we'll give you the full walk around, finished product. You'll notice we didn't do anything with the tires and wheels. The wheels we actually are going to ceramic coat. The tires, as soon as we get those 35s on, we will be putting Duracoating's tire coating on those as well. But I couldn't be happier. We did coat everything else. We did the door handles, the trim, the TRD Pro badging. So yeah, everything was done. The only other thing we actually didn't do, which I'm kind of doing this as a little test, we used Duracoating's Glass X on the windshield. We did not do it on the other windows. Actually, I'll show you as we finish walking around here. The only other window we put it on was the passenger side rear, and I did that on purpose. I want to see how much it differs by having it on that window and on the windshield versus the other windows. If I really like it, if it works as advertised, I'll go back and just kind of hand polish the other windows and wipe them down with that wipeout and put it on the other 3 windows. Well, actually the other 4, including the rear. And I did not do it on the sunroof either, just so you guys know. Not yet anyway. Again, if I'm happy with it, we'll go back and coat the rest of the windows and the sunroof with that Glass X. But there you have it. Could not be happier. Came out awesome. All right, there you have it, guys. Quick summary of how I did this and what I used to get it done. Hopefully it helped you out. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if you're brand new to this, check out my other video. It is a very detailed step-by-step process. This was just kind of a, you know, a quick little show you what I did, what I used kind of thing. Hopefully it helped you out. If you have any questions, put them down below. As always, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.